I don't know what to say. In fact, I do know what to say because it has to be said. How we lost to Nottingham Forest and we've allowed Chris Wood, remember the guy that was bantering when we first got that taste of Saudi money, to come back to St James's Park and beat us and get a hattie on Boxing Day. Let me digest this. Look, some of this might make sense to you. Some of it might. Just take it with a pinch of salt, man. Some of it you might agree with this. Some of you might think this guy's lost it. Whatever. It is what it is, isn't it? That's the case of a football fan. But as you've seen by the scoreline, we've lost 3-1 to Nottingham Forest. 3-1. Now, it is what it is. They're a Premier League team. Fair play to Nottingham Forest. New manager bounce and all that sort of thing there. But how are we losing to these lot? And this is where I need to start questioning my own team. Eddie Howe. Edward Howe. He needs to get questioned. I was about to say it. You know, fuck it, I have to say it. He's got to go soon. Soon. Not now, but soon. Because again, some of the ideas are drying up. This pressing FC from the front is drying up. We can't keep blaming the whole, we got injuries, we got an injury. No, we can't blame all that sort of stuff now because we've got players coming back now. We've got a team that's worthy of beating Nottingham Forest. And I didn't even touch upon the Luton game as well. But again, we lost that one too. We've got players that can beat this team, that should be beating this team. People might blame it on the Champions League campaign, yes. But at the same time, players play games. That's what they're there to do. Some play twice a week, some play once a week. There's other teams that are in the Champions League that still perform better than what we are right now. And I think what's happening now is that we're getting found out in terms of the high press and all the rest of it now. Yes, players are tired, but they need to be dropped because again, they're too favourable in amongst the manager's plans. Let's call them out. Trippier, that's one for sure. Miguel Miron, that's another one for sure. Dan Burn got absolutely roasted by Chris Wood. Now here's the thing. The amount of times that we've had right wingers come against Dan Burn. Dan Burn's most of the time got the better of these players. But this time, Dan Burn got toasted by Chris Wood, the oil tanker. You know what I'm saying? We know him best because we signed him for a hot minute, literally a hot minute. And he's come up against him and turned him and scored. So yeah, too many of these things is happening and needs to get addressed now. And it's not an outburst of like, oh my God, Eddie Howe needs to go because we lost 2 games. Look, if we're being totally honest, if we're being brutally honest, and we want to, as ambitious Newcastle fans, because I'm not having the whole, look where we were 2 years ago, oh my God, we should be so grateful. Yeah, look, I get it. We progressed since then. But we can't keep doing that 5 years on, 10 years on, 15 years on. Mark Ashley era is done. Steve Bruce era is done. We now need to look forward and look to where we are currently and what we have achieved this season and how we can cement it. I don't think we're going to progress from it, but at least cement it and keep in a European phase. I think top 4's gone. It's been gone since the start of the season, let's face it, with the squad that we have. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we stay within Europe. That includes Europa Conference League and all the rest of it. So at least we can maintain a level where we can still attract these sort of players. Because the last thing we want is to be dropping out of the European places and then the likes of your Brunos, the likes of your Botmans, Isaacs and all the rest of it that are players of a higher ilk, they'll be like, you know what, I might be getting this money, but I could get this money and still be playing European football elsewhere. And this is the thing, I'm forward thinking. I'm not just thinking about this game that we've lost to Nottingham Forest. It's happening too regularly this season. Too many mistakes, too many errors. And again, it's a lack of urgency and a consistency to change things when things are going wrong. We keep sticking with the same formation, the same play, the same players. And you probably think to yourself, oh, well, who have we got? Well, this is where Eddie Howe gets paid his millions. He's not there on a volunteer basis. He's there as a professional league manager to think of these things. If I can think to myself, hold on, why is Trippier playing there instead of Livramento when Trippier is not having the best of games as of late? Or why is Miggy playing there when he's offside all the time and he can't use his right foot? Or why, do you know what I'm saying? There's so many mistakes happening. We know we've got a goalkeeping situation where Pope's injured currently right now, and Dubravka didn't have the best of games. He's not probably our first choice. We know we need to do that. But in terms of midfield's okay. We've only got Willock out injured as far as I can see. Obviously we know the Tanani situation, that can't be helped. Isak had a fantastic game despite being on a losing team. And again, at the moment in time, especially today, he's way too good for us. And I hate when we get to that stage where we've got a player that's way too good for us, because that means he's not going to stay with us too long. We had it with Kabay. There was touch and go with Bruno. Since he signed his deal, he's kind of gone a bit quiet. And now Isak's looking at that player that's playing above and beyond everyone else and making everyone else look shit, because they are shit right now. But also, Isak's playing phenomenally well. We need to regroup. We need to regroup, and we know we've got these games coming thick and fast, just like everyone else. But we need to regroup, and we need to change things up. When we're in situations like this, when we're drawing 1-1, we need to win, or we're 2-1 down, we need to get an equaliser, or we're even 3-1 down, we need a plan B. It can't be the same thing over and over again. It's way too predictable. Way too predictable. Why is it a case of when we've got Almiron on the wing, he always cuts inside, always going to lay it off for Trippier to overlap and then get a ball into the box? Too predictable. Gordon, when he cuts inside, you know where he's going to drive inside. You show him on the outside, it's not really a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, Isak's the only one person who's a bit unpredictable right now who can cause us trouble. But even if you mark him out of the game, job's a good one. And then at the back now, whoa, dear me. Like, again, Trippier's at fault again. You've got to hold your hands up. You know, he kept my man on side, kept Wood on side, he scored a goal, and there you go. In a row, that's another game that Trippier's at fault. And I love him as captain. I'm glad he's still at our club. And again, he's still a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. But you've got to call a spade a spade. Let's not tiptoe around things. Be like, oh, Trippier, I'm so glad he's at our club. I'm still glad he's at our club. But at the same time, he's having a bit of a shocker right now. Let's bench him for a little bit. Livramento is playing fantastically well. I don't know why he keeps getting dropped. I don't know why he keeps getting benched. Dan Burn got turned inside out. Please, Jesus, please let him rest. I don't know what Lewis Hall has done. Maybe we've just seen him in training. Like, is this the same guy that was on at Chelsea last season and thought we don't fancy him? If that's the case, then we're going to have to go for something different, because that is just not acceptable today. Anyway, fair play to Nottingham Forest fans if you actually watched this and you managed to get through all of that rubbish that I've just spat out my mouth because I just needed to release. Fair play to you guys. You come and did your job. I actually predicted before the game it would be a draw. I would be lucky to get a draw. We didn't even get that. We got absolutely toasted by you lot. Fair play. Alanga, superb player. Chris Wood, fair play. Come back and did the business. Never thought I would be saying that, but here we are. But yeah, we really, really need to get our act together. Now, you know what? I'm gonna put a spoiler alert. Maybe not a spoiler alert. More of a prediction. I predict that the owner's going to look at this game and be like, you know what, maybe we should start looking at this situation now and be like, you know what, let's get into this guy. Because is he the one to take us to the next level in terms of European qualification again, in terms of winning stuff, in terms of finishing top 4 consecutively? Because yes, he's done it once, but who cares? Like, you can't keep that as a medal for the rest of your life. And if we're really being ruthless, and this is what we need to be doing as a football club and as a business, as an entity, because Saudi don't come here to play. Saudi money don't come here to play. They're not just here to take part, they're here to take over. Literally, that's what they've done. So if I was me, or if I was them, I would look to get rid of Eddie Howe at the end of the season. Yes, I said it. At the end of the season, listen to this scenario before you pick at it. Southgate, Euros, final swan song. Whether he wins or loses, he's gone. 8 years, that's enough for me. Eddie Howe sounds like the natural progression, the natural replacement. If they still want to keep with the English model, get someone England, born, bred, young, all the rest of it, get him in, and then we're left without a manager. And who's left? For me, Jose Mourinho. End of the season, Jose Mourinho contract's up at Roma. It makes so much sense for me in terms of taking us to the next level. Finishes the story in terms of Sir Bobby Robson, again, someone that mentored him in the early part of his career. And it makes so much sense. If it becomes boring football, cool. If it becomes winning football, love that. And again, it takes us to the next level, next pedigree of manager, because let's face it, I don't think Eddie Howe can do that. We're coming to that sort of stage where he had that stumbling block at Bournemouth before he got sacked. And I'd rather Eddie Howe leave on a good note rather than getting sacked and we think of, we was losing to the likes of Luton, Nottingham Forest and all the rest of it getting turned over. I'd rather him leave on good terms than bad terms. I don't want him out right now. I could definitely stomach him to the end of the season, get top 8, top 7, whatever it is to get European football. But if we want to be progressive and we want to be, you know, competitive and all the rest of it now, and ambitious, that's the word I'm looking for, we need to take all of this stuff into consideration, because I'm not having the whole, look where we were 2 years ago, that's fine. No, 2 years ago is 2 years ago. We can't play in the past. I'm grateful to be here, don't get me wrong, but at the same moment in time, we need to make sure that we're progressing for the future. Anyway, that's been my rambling thoughts. I feel so much better after getting that off my chest. We've lost Nottingham Forest, it happens, but at the same time it shouldn't be if we're looking to maintain that European place. Let me know your thoughts on everything I said in the comment section below. Please take it all in before you just rashly start spouting away in the comment section below. Take everything that I said on board. I've been 40. See you soon, keep it tuned. Peace.